Hi everyone, welcome to Monday Evening Crafting Time. I'm Lillian, an independent Snappy Up demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada, and I'm so glad you're here. I love that you're here and that we have this sense of community, whether even on YouTube, we have developed connections and a sense of community. So love that we have a sense of community here, that you all interact with each other and encourage each other. And I love that. So thank you so much for hopping on board. And whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay, don't forget to say hi and maybe leave a comment. I don't know, it could be from where you're from, or here's something you can share. What is something that you didn't notice at first when you saw the annual catalog, when you went through the annual catalog? And then later it caught your eye, so you would call it a sleeper. Something you didn't notice at first, and then afterwards you went, ooh, I like that. Maybe you've even used it a lot. So let us know what that might be, because that's sort of what I'm talking about tonight. Something that you might not have noticed right off the bat. And while you're typing that in, I'm going to go down to my desktop here. Let's click the right button. There we go. And just a little, some of you have been asking about Harry. He's doing great. It is 5 weeks ago today that he had his surgery. So we've been going on longer walks, not real long, but longer than he was able to. And we're also walking a little bit faster. So that is all wonderful. He will start physio in a couple of weeks. We will be celebrating that, and he gets to drive in another week or so. So my chauffeuring days might be coming to an end. But I just said to him today, does your leg really work well enough that you can drive a car? And oh, he thinks it does. So we'll see. We'll do some test runs in a parking lot somewhere, that's for sure. So thank you everybody for hopping on. I am just going to share this video to my group page so that to my group, just so that some people watch it there as well. There we go. So let's see. I missed some of what the sleepers were, but I did see one thing that popped up, and somebody's sleeper was much the same as the one I'm going to share tonight, I think. But before we do that, I forgot last week, so I am going to be doing this right now. So oh dear, I'm connected. There we go. So for last week's little stuffed pocket, it was just a little miniature one. This card, Cindy, your name was drawn. So Cindy, if you would message me with your mailing address, I will pop this into the mail for you. I did take our pictures off, and you can add your own photographs there. And then for the week before, for this card here, this was Kim, and Kim watches on YouTube. So Kim, if you can let me know your address, I will pop that into the mail for you too. So there, now I have remembered to do that. Secondly, if you shop with me, be watching in the mail. These should be showing up soon, and you're going to want to be on the lookout for them. So there's the mini catalog and the celebration catalog. They are chock full of really good things. Now, I can't show you the inside. I will give you a little teaser. I have a few things from these catalogs, and I'm just beginning to start to play with them. So many new things, and I just dropped everything on the floor. Well, it's a good thing I'm finished with that. Now let's look at the sleeper in this catalog, one of the sleepers anyway. So one of the sleepers in this catalog is found on page 149, and it is the masking paper. Now, I don't know about you or how you go through the catalogs when they're new, but I go through, first off, I just go through and look at everything and just soak it in. And then I go through and look a little more closely. Then I go through and sometimes I'll notice the fine print and that kind of thing. And then I'll go through and see something else. But eventually I go through and I look, especially in the annual catalog, I look for all the red ends because that means it's new. When I looked on this page here, I hadn't ever noticed this right here. And then when I saw the red end, I thought, what is new on this page? Well, everything looks like something I've seen before, but it's the masking paper, and it is something that is wonderful. So, you can keep, what does it say? I should read that. Sorry, instead of closing the book. It says, keep designated paper sections ink-free while using coloring techniques. Also great for color blocking. Well, I'm going to show you a couple of techniques tonight, and I have to admit, I got so carried away. I might be doing a few more videos using the masking paper. So the masking paper is 5 by 7. And you get 12 sheets in your package. So it's like that. So let me just pull out, this is part of a sheet, but you'll get the idea. The masking paper is really thin. Think of the thickness of a Post-it note. Let's just grab that here. It is maybe a smidge more than a Post-it note, but definitely way, way thinner than cardstock. And that's an important thing, that it's thin. The other thing is that on the back side, when you peel the backing off, this is tacky. Now, it's not a permanent adhesive. Think again of a Post-it note, but it is a little tackier than a Post-it note. And unlike a Post-it note, the whole thing is tacky. So that's the other good thing. Another thing is that it's reusable. And you'll find as I'm showing you things tonight that I have bits and pieces that I have used all over the place. And it is also very affordable. It is only like $8 or $9, something like that. So that being said, what in the world can you use it for? So let's just explore that a little bit here tonight. One thing you can use it for is for masking off something. If you wanted to layer some images. So if I wanted, say, an image here and another image and another image. So let's just ink up this little hippo right here, and you'll get the idea. So I'm inking up the little hippo here. And there we go. And some of you were saying, where did she come from? Ooh, it's one of those things that's coming. So now, if I wanted another hippo, so I wanted her friends stamping behind, they would overlap. So how could I do that? If this is a basic white cardstock that I stamped on and then cut around, and if I put this here to protect her, and I stamp again over top, then I get what's called a halo effect. It doesn't get right to the marking. So let's try it again on this side. So we've got that. Now, what I did was I stamped it on the masking paper. So you stamp right on the paper. And then I cut it out right on the line. You can't see right here. I cut it out right on the line. I didn't want any extra, if anything, cut inside the line or right on. I know that I'm not using this part, so I folded a little piece over to work as a handle. So now I'm going to stick this down. And this is so nice because once you make one of these, you're set to go. Let's see here. I'm working through the camera here. There, like that. Whoops. And I've used this many, many times, and it is still nice and sticky. So then you go like that. Remember, we had that halo effect. Because this is so nice and thin, it just looks like she's dancing with a friend. Now, if this was your first time to use this, I would suggest taking a little bit of sticky off with your hand, or when you're peeling it off, to peel slowly. Because if you peel in a hurry, two things can happen. You could tear this paper, or you could tear your mask. Now, what am I going to do with this? Put it back in the stamp case for the next time that I want to use it. And you want to see a finished card with this? So here is a card. See how all the friends are lined up dancing, and then this one's right here. So I was inspired by another demonstrator, and I should give her credit. I believe it was Linda Levan. I saw this on Pinterest, and it didn't really say if she was the creator or not. I changed a few things up. She was very patient and colored all of the hippos, but I wasn't that patient. I just did one, but I know who this card is going to. So that's why it's nice to have it thin. It's nice to have it sticky all over so no parts lift up, and it's nice to have it reusable. So along that same kind of vein, what if you were stamping flowers and wanted leaves coming out, or a jar, having them resting in the jar, that kind of thing? Well, first off, you would stamp the flowers, because that's what's going to be in the front, right? You always stamp the image you want in the front first. Then you stamp a mask. And again, I didn't bother cutting that because I only wanted to worry about down here. So I positioned the mask. Then I stamped the mason jar. Then I stamped the stems. And before long, you have what looks like a colossal mess. But look what happens when you peel it off. Remember, you don't yank it off. You just sort of peel slowly. And like magic, you have your flowers growing out of the mason jar, or arranged beautifully in the mason jar. So I'm just going to tuck that back in this case so that I don't lose it. And let's see a finished card. So here's how the card finished. I've colored it, and then I'm going to just put this on, but I wanted you to see how clean it looks right there. So that's why I hadn't fastened this on. Then I just thought a little tag like that. And there we have a jar like that. So that is a way, so the masks there, the masking paper there, covers up the areas you don't want to have stamped. So now when I was showing you this, I showed that I had some of these kinds of things. And you can see it's really sticky on the plastic, and it's only been used once. So I'm just going to peel it off. Well, you get the idea. So I cut out a circle. Then I also cut out a strip, put the strip across here, layered this over top, and did some sponging. Then when I peeled it all off, and I'll do a separate class on this, and then I had this place to stamp. I did a little spritzing or splattering, and just like that, I've got, I think this is 4 1/4. Yep, 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 square card. So this would fit right in our envelopes. And you're saying, where did this come from, or this? Well, that's a sneak peek of something that's coming. So just keep your eyes peeled for those new little catalogs. So you're saying, well, there's some other stuff here. Well, you're right. So what if you wanted, you know, to have a moon in the evening sky? So what I did was I took a piece of basic white, and I put, this is masking paper. I just sponged over top. Because it's sticky all over, it sticks down beautifully, and I sponged over top, didn't have to worry about it lifting. Then when I peeled it off, it was white. So then I took the piece that I cut that out of. I should have had this. There we go, and put it here, and then I just sponged there. So now I have the moon in the evening sky, and I have to finish this card yet, but you get the idea of how that happens. So those are some of the ways you can use the masking paper. Tonight, I am going to concentrate on using the masking paper on your stamps. So, for example, here's a stamp here. It is, I just put my masking tape there. So it was happy for you. And I forgot to bring some paper in. Well, we'll use this paper here. So, is it going to fit? Yeah. So say I only wanted the word happy, or if I only wanted the word for you, what I could do is take a piece of the masking paper and let's do for you, and I can stick it right down on the clean stamp. So this stamp is clean. I can ink up the words that I want. This is the important step. Remove that piece of paper and then stamp, and you've just got the words you want. So it really makes your word stamps even more versatile because you can pull individual words out of them. And I use that kind of technique all the time with my word stamps. So what about, here's another one, and this again is almost, I think I've shown bits and pieces of this before, but I need to make some more room. We will just pull that in like that. So I've used my Stamparatus and I've stamped Sending Sunshine and Good Feelings Your Way. Now, if I want to stamp it again in a different color, what I can do is I can bring, and I've just cut some strips here, I can bring some strips of the masking paper in and block off Oops, that one went flying. And you can, you might want to cut them different widths. You might want to cut them the same width. You might want to tear the edges, whatever. There we go. Here's another one. So I've stamped it in Daffodil Delight. So I think I will bring in, just so you can see it, I'll bring in Melon Mambo. So it's a really good contrast for Daffodil Delight. So the stamp is clean and I'm going to ink this up. So it's much the same as what we did with For You. So just a little hint, these strips are really messy right now. Once they're dry, you can reuse them, but don't put anything in them right now. Put them away out of the way. And then we're going to bring this in, and I like to bring in a tissue to rub. And there you go, you've got your two tones, just like that. So that is another way that you can use your stamps and the masking tape. Now, we're going to play with a stamp set that I think has been a sleeper for a couple of years. And it might be a sleeper because people aren't sure how to use it. So it's called Days to Remember, and it looks really interesting. It has numbers all over the place, but it has the days of the week, and it has the months of the year, and it looks like it's got potential. But what do you do with it? Well, masking paper, pardon me, works beautifully with this. I have done this technique that I'm just going to show you with Post-it notes, and it works, but it works even better with the tape. Or why am I calling it tape? Masking paper. I'm calling it tape because, right, we have masking tape, and that's why. Now, I had some paper cut, and what did I do with it? I'll just grab another piece. There we go. And these are photopolymer stamps, so I'm going to bring in a foam mat to stamp on and some scrap paper. So we've got that like that. We're not going off the edge, so I'll do that so you can see better. But before we do that, let's look at this. So I know that I want to do July. July is coming up. And where I live, the first day of the week is Sunday. So I want to use the Sunday to Saturday one. So I'm going to ink that up. Just get the days of the week down. There we go. I got a heavy hand there. I just re-inked. I'll do it this way and trim that off afterwards. Little stamp, little pressure, right? There, that's a little nicer. And then I'm going to bring in July. And July is over here. Oh, I could use other colors of ink, but I'm just, the purpose of this is just, and you can center it, you can offset it. I have an idea of where I'm going with this, so I'm going to offset it because that's where my plan is headed. And now, how do we use this? So July, let's bring in a calendar. A calendar is your friend with this. So let's turn to July. We need to first find out what day of the week is the 1st of July. It's on a Friday, and there are 31 days. And the 31st day is on the Sunday. So to me, this is like magic. So if you look here and take the one, can you see the one here? And line it up on the Friday. And then you're going to mask off this, and everything is going to be in the right spot. And you're going, what? It works. It works every time. I don't know how many different calendars I've made, and it works. So I know that I have to mask off the 3 and down, and I need to line Friday, so I need to mask off the 2 and down. So I'm using the masking paper. You can see that I've used this masking paper before. It's all good, just like that. We're going to ink this up. The Versamark and the Tuxedo Black, they're different than our regular ink pads, and I like to use my pointing finger here to give a little extra pressure in the middle. Now, just like when we were doing For You, we're now going to peel these off. Put them so they're not going to contaminate anything. Line up that one under the Friday and press down. And just like that, we have July 2021. This stamp will work for whatever year and for whatever month. And to me, that is mind-blowing. It's just like magic. So then what else is in here? So there are all kinds of little things, like you could put a little circle around the date, or a heart, or do all kinds of things. You could add these as little decorations. You can make a calendar. It works great as a birthday card. So let me show you how I turned that into a birthday card. So a friend of mine is having a birthday in July. So it's on the 10th, so I circled that. I just popped it on some designer paper. I cut this out from the designer paper and put that on dimensionals, added this, and it is good to go. And so let me just show you what about this. So as many of you know, my woe is I have lost the stamp set, that happiness, whatever, for the flowers here. But I still have the dies, and the dies cut out every flower on this gorgeous designer paper. There's this one, and this one, and most of the leaves. It cuts out, they cut out these leaves and these leaves. And so even though I can't find my stamp set, I was still able to make the card. And you notice here, I even cut out portions because at the edge of the paper, there's only a piece of the flower. Got them all in one of our clear envelopes, but I still cut them out because they work for decorating on a corner or something like that. And see the leaves? So I've got all, I just sat for a little bit of time and cut out a whole sheet, and I've got flowers galore. So there is the inside, and that's where I used the pieces, and there's where I use this on the outside. This size, I cut it out with the stitched rectangles. A lot of our dies will fit this, and it's a wonderful stamp set, and it really shines when you use it with your masking paper. So hopefully that gives you some ideas and maybe answers some questions for both the stamp set and the masking paper. And I do have some show and tell. So just hang tough here. I have made a bit of a mess. I want to make sure that I'm seeing everything that I'm supposed to see. So show and tell. This card here was made because I cleaned my desk. So I had made this soccer ball with hexagons, but just the soccer ball was on the card, was on the desk. This bicycle was on the desk because I'd been using that, right? And then I thought, oh, they look kind of good together. So I took the grass from the Horizon dies and then the Alphabest and put them together, and there we go. So there's a fun card because I cleaned my desk, right? Here is a card that is a sneak peek of something that's coming. You might recognize this stamp in the background and these words. As demonstrators, we were able to take part in a crafting time together as demonstrators using a particular stamp set and bundle of products. And you see this paper, it's just gorgeous paper. So I will be sharing more about that too. Then I received a card that looked very much like this in a card swap, but I decided to make this, instead of flat on the front, to open like that. And this is something we made with our stamp club. And I just lucked out. I stamped this piece of white, and I had stamped the background. When I put it down, it looks like I planned that right like that. So then, because this is a brand new stamp set to me, I wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. And I was in a hurry because I wanted to show my Stamp Club ladies. So I just made a set of cards. So there's the koala. And I've stuck it together here. There is the panda, and there is the raccoon. So each of these cards, the measurements of every card are the same. The orientation might have differed, but these are the same. This is the same. So everything is the same except for the stamped image and the orientation. So a neat way to make a set of cards for somebody. And let me see, what else do I have to share? A couple of more things. A couple of things that I just got from the annual catalog. You know I love my embossing. So this is called Let's Celebrate. So these are the 3.5 inch ones. So you get 2 in a bundle. So this one is All Happy Birthday. So it looks like that in different languages. Just love that. And this one is Congratulations in all different languages. And then, of course, I have to do one in foil. Whoops! Just to show you. So I was working on some special cards this weekend, and these came in handy. And then the other thing is these here are gorgeous. These are called the Glossy Dots Assortment. So I just got them, and I haven't even opened them, as you can see, but they... Look at the 3 different sizes and the different colors. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So, a couple of more things quick reminder, tomorrow is the day that Stampin' Up, they sprung this on us. It's free shipping. So on orders of $100 or more, only tomorrow. So if you're going to order online from my online store, you'll find it by going to my website right here. Just please use hostess code, this hostess code. It's the same one that's here. If your order's under $200. If your order's $200 or more, then you get stamping benefits then already. If you just have a few things and you live nearby and you don't mind doing my front porch pickup, just make sure your order is to me before noon tomorrow, and then I will combine it with mine. So there's that. So if you are thinking of putting an order in, just look at how to maximize your savings. So free shipping on $100, that's you're saving 11% right then. Remember the last chance items, they're up to 50% off. So you could order from there or the clearance rack and save money. And you could order some kits. If you buy one kit, you get the second one 50% off. And you could combine all of these together and just save money big time. So don't forget that you can do that. And just before I say goodbye, I wanted to show you one new kit that I just got. I've shown you a few kits over the last month. This kit, I'm so excited. It's like a little mini scrapbooking kit. So you get the stamps here. So life is cool, just enjoy, smile every day. You get a few images, a few different things like that. And then you get an ink pad. This one is Parakeet Party. So it's just one of the little mini ones. It's called a Stampin' Spot. So you've got that. So this would make a perfect gift for a birthday. But I'm also thinking of having the grandkids over, and as you know, some of our grandkids are coming from overseas, and this would be a great way to document it. Anyway, I haven't even opened it. I've just opened it and haven't taken anything out. You get the block. So it's a D size, not as thick as our regular blocks, but it works perfectly. And then you get the instructions. They're in here somewhere. You get some strong tape. You get some washi tape that's silver. You get little pockets to put things in. These are like stickers or die cuts, I guess I should say. You've got pages to work with. You got some of this shiny hologram. Ooh, look at Catch the Light there. Some more of these. You've got little cards to add on. I shared a video, the end of last week of Sarah Douglas. And she used this to show something, and she scrapbooked with it. And then you get this book, and these things all go in here. And when the kids go home, they're going to have their own little scrapbook of reminders and memories. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm also thinking some of these kits would be great for if you're doing a birthday party or getting together with a girlfriend and having a girlfriend's weekend away or something like that. And I see Irene says, similar to a paper pumpkin kit. Yes, Irene. And I loved your picture of going camping with your paper pumpkin kits. They're ready, all ready to go. So I just wanted to share all those things so that you didn't forget that all that is happening. Once again, masking paper, what can you do with it? And this stamp set, Days to Remember, what can you do with that? They're the perfect storm when they come together. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Take care and have fun. Bye-bye.